This is your homework family reading for July 1st through the 15th. Sorry to ring the bell, but the bell helps clear out negative energy so that it makes sure all positive energy is here. And everybody calls me bells anyway. So, first off, well, right now I'm being given a whole lot of pinkish orange mauve kind of energy. This is sensitive, creative energy that's incredibly sensitive. Creative energy that's incredibly sensitive. It makes sense. I'm going to explain it to you when I get into the astrology. And I'm being given the wolf, and I'm being told self-expression is incredibly important for you right now. But the wolf is coming to me in black. Now, with the wolf being black, this means the root chakra. He's dealing with survival, stability, and security. And he's scratching at my back. You know how, like a dog starts digging for a bone? I feel like the creativity and the extra sensitivity is the dog digging for the bone, which is actually the wolf scratching at my back. But in a way, I feel like I'm being told to tell you to watch your back. But here's the funky part about it. You're watching your back from yourself. Oversensitivity, over creativity. I feel like you're the dog digging for the bone. You're looking for something. You're digging away at stuff. And anytime you dig hard enough, you're going to find something. It may not even be what you're looking for. You're just digging to dig, is what I feel like. And what you really need to be doing is paying attention to what is honestly, truthfully, the expression and the communication that is important to you, and what you need to say and how you need to say it. And I feel like you're digging because you're just digging something apart, basically. And in a sense, what I feel like is, I don't want to tell you not to dig at something that, you might be needing to look into and figure out. But if you're just digging to dig, you're going to end up creating something out of nothing, which is just going to create something much worse than it ever needed to be. And this is why I feel like I'm being told to tell you, you need to watch your back from your own self, in a sense. Now, when I get into the astrology, this really actually makes sense, because I'm going to tell you a secret that I'm sure no other astrologer has told you. There's a reason why I call Gemini Jekyll and Hyde. They always call you the twins. You're right down the middle on everything. And I've always said I call it Jekyll and Hyde with no disrespect. I don't mean it. I'm being told social order. Social order is their actual social order. Is what apparently you're going to be acknowledging this. Whatever it is that this is dealing with is their actual order, and is it social? Is there social order, basically? And are you expressing your true self, your true expression of yourself in this at this time, from the 1st through the 15th? Excuse me. Now let me go back to astrology for a second. The Polaris star is, I had to pull up my notes so that I could go into this. The Polaris star is at 28.34 degrees Gemini. It never, ever, ever leaves Gemini. Okay? This is part of why I call you Jekyll and Hyde, and I mean no disrespect. You're the twins. You see right down the middle. But there's a reason why you see right down the middle. The Polaris star is considered, for all intents and purposes, the North Star. It's the hope. It's the hope, but it's also the north. So it's the hope that hasn't birthed yet. Digging away, trying to find something new. It matches with this. But let me explain a little bit better. The Polaris star is the North Star, but its energies is considered, for one, it's a giant, is what it's considered, a giant, one of the giant stars. And there's few of them that we actually get into in astrology, and we talk about from time to time. Polaris star, being the North Star, is one of them. It's called one of the guardians of the pole. There's technically 3 guardians of the pole, but I've never really had the other one have much going totally on. So I usually talk about Polaris star and Kokub from time to time when Spirit is directing me in this direction. And this is why I'm doing it right now. The Polaris star is always a Gemini. It never ever leaves. Its energy alone is carried with 3 different planets. It's the idea of these 3 different planets that are on one, and it never, ever, ever goes away. It's with you all the time. And these planets are the sun. The illumination is always with you. So is the egotistical side, because that goes with the illumination. Okay? It's how you shine. It's how you illuminate. It's how, what you shine it on, for one. I mean, and like I said, the egotistical side, it's the core energy. So it's a core energy, but it's also mixed with what is considered Saturn's energy. Rules, walls, boundaries, withholdings, and limitations. And then it's topped off with Venus. These 3 energies of these 3 planets make up the one planet of the Polaris star. And let me remind you, Venus is not love. So many people want to say that, but that's so not true. Venus is sensitivities. She's sensitivities on all levels of your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. And she's teaching you what you like about it and why you like it, why you desire it and crave it, as well as why you hate it, why you want nothing to do with it, why you want, why I hate you, why, she's telling you where something's also gone wrong and where it's uncomfortable. So it's all ooey gooey, soft and chewy and yay, or I don't want to deal with that. On the physical level, it's telling you the same things. How you've hurt yourself. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. And how you've helped heal yourself. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Then, what were the rules and walls and boundaries? What were the withholdings and the limitations within these situations? And how was that illuminated? That never, ever, ever leaves you. Jekyll and Hyde. You are completely oversensitive, over adjusting in your rules, your walls, and boundaries, and you over illuminate it. That's just part of who and what you are. That's part of what creates the twins, because of that North Star, the Polaris star, which never leaves Gemini. Now hear me out. All through June, especially the last 2 weeks of June, Venus itself traveled right over top of that Polaris star. So you just took that energy and you doubled the sensitivity. Okay? So you've been in super sensitivity, more or less, in your very self-awareness. Your self-awareness and your physical body, your personality, your appearance, your point of view, your ID, and the image of who and what you and everybody else thinks you are. So it's been super oversensitive, super over rules, walls, boundaries, and super illuminating it because of Venus traveling on top of that Polaris star through June. Okay? Venus actually moves into Cancer on the 3rd. So until July 3rd, she's still in your sign. And then, as soon as she gets in Cancer, Mercury freaking goes retrograde, and Mercury is your ruler. Now, that's not so bad, other than Mercury's going to be retrograde. And it's going retrograde in your universal third house? No. In your universal second house, which then is putting it right back into Cancer, on top of Mars, which Mars will have moved into Leo on the 1st of... No, Mars moves into Leo on the 1st of July. Yeah, Cancer is in Leo, which is your universal third house. Then you have the eclipse on the 2nd, Venus moving in to Cancer on the 3rd, and Mercury going retrograde on the 7th. My mouth does not want to talk today. But let me break this down for you. You have Mars, which is going to be in Leo from the 1st through the 15th. You have Mercury, that is going to be in Leo from the 1st through the 15th, but on the 7th it goes retrograde, and it's sitting right next to Jura, or Jera, however you pronounce it. This is your universal third house. Mercury in shadow, getting ready to go retrograde in your third house, which is communication. So communication is about to turn inwardly and no longer talk to everybody else. It's only going to be talking to you in the house of communication. Again, the wolf digging at my back. This is why I'm getting this energy of, if you go digging for something so bad, you're going to create something. You're going to find something, even if it's not really there. This is about protecting you from the ego inside driving you batshit crazy, more or less, is what I'm being told. Because Mars is your rules, your walls. No. Mars is your passion, your action, your aggression, your inner SWAT team, your inner warrior. And it's also your sexual energy. So it's your sexual drive with a whole new level of fire on top of it, and how you feel about yourself. Possibly feeling jeopardized because Mercury's in retrograde in that third house of communication, with the sacrifice and commitment sitting on top of it. Remember, Mercury's in shadow until the 7th, so it can't help but to look at, the negative or darker aspects of things. And then on the 7th through the 15th, as it's leaving Leo, it is still going over Mars again, getting all that passion, action, fire, aggression in it, again, in your actual communication house, which is also dealing with your neighbors, your siblings, your journeys. Pay attention. I feel like I'm being told you really need to focus and pay attention, because this could very much go badly for you, and this is why the wolf is here. Pay attention to your self-expression. Pay attention to your focus, because you could drive yourself crazy and have too much going on in your head and not be paying attention. This is in your transportation zone. So this is also an easy way for you to accidentally end up in accidents if you're not paying attention. I'm just being honest with you. Now, it in general is not getting along for the whole 1st through the 15th with hold on, let me double check that. It's not getting along with independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem in the universal second house of Taurus, which happens to be your universal 12th house of your subconscious. It's speaking to your subconscious, your hidden self, your unconscious mind, your karmic debts, your self-undoing, your bad habits, your bad addictions, your bad patterns that you've created over time, because at one time you thought they served you, but they don't anymore, and you're having to start to realize this. It's dealing with situations that some of you are going through of grief, sorrow, secrets. Also, for some of you, it's prison, government offices, suicides, kidnappings. I mean, things along this line, the stuff that we slam up in that universal 12th house, and we want to lock it away and keep the skeletons in the closet and never fix it because we don't know how. It is fighting your very communication with yourself. More or less, making you have to acknowledge some of these things. Okay? And then it's also fighting. No, it's actually getting along with Chiron, which is your 10th house, which is dealing with your honor, your prestige, your professional career, your authority, your responsibilities. It's making you have to really pay attention in the outer community and get that right because you're trying to avoid the inner self. On some levels is what I feel like what I'm getting out of this. And this energy is very much, I'm being told it's roles you have to overcome, situations you have to overcome within yourself and the relationship you have with yourself in order to move forward, because this is a healing process. This is growth, is what they are saying, even though it may not feel like it at the time. Now, for you, as far as your second house, this is where the eclipse takes place on July 2nd. This is the eclipse, July 2nd, a solar eclipse. So it's bringing extra illumination in again. And then it's in Cancer, where it's a new moon for new beginnings, new directions, new goals. But it's going to illuminate what the goals need to be. Not what you want them to be. It's going to be illuminating what they need to be. And it's going to be sitting in your second house, which is your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. And then it's going to be also speaking to how you create and spend your money, as well as those small possessions, such as your phone, your car, furniture, clothing, movable property. This is how you gain and spend your money, and how you gain your own self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. And it's talking to you about all of this energy, but the problem is, it's not getting along with that universal 8th house. So this is a relationship you're having to see with yourself, because there's situations within the relationship and the roles that you have with everybody else. Something here has to tweak. Something here has to shift, because it's the rules of the relationships. And these relationships that you have, there's always joint efforts, joint finances, joint resources. Is it joint? Is it a transformation that's coming into a healing energy, a positive energy, or is it staying stagnant? Is it going nowhere? Is it all you doing it or all of them doing it? I mean, is the efforts joint? What are the rules within the relationships? You're going to be acknowledging this. And where is that affecting you in a positive or a negative way with your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem? Basically is what you're really going to be seeing at this time. And then Venus finally gets out of there and it moves into Cancer. So it's going to start illuminating extra sensitivities with self-worth, self-value, self-esteem just as well. And how you create and spend your money. So, I mean, these are definitely the energies that I'm seeing mainly that aren't going away. There's way too much going on every single day for me to truthfully go over every single day with you. But I'm trying to look at something. Most of your energies in general are taking place of your self-identity, your self-motivated self, your action-oriented self, your self-assertiveness, your choice to believe in your own free will or not. It's your personal identification coming out, and it is dealing with both your introverted and extroverted side, and it's mainly going to be dealing with your conscious actions. So like I said, you're going to be paying attention. I feel over and over again it's like the wolf is trying to tell me it's trying to protect you, but in a sense, like it's trying to protect you from you if you dig away and make yourself crazy. Again. Trying to get to my cards. This is my Earth Magic deck. Let's see. What does Gemini need to know? What's Gemini's energy? Not what they need to know. What is Gemini's energy for... What is Gemini's energy for the beginning of July? As they come into July, the beginning of July. What's Gemini going through? What's up? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Gemini. I've just been told, ground yourself. Because they literally, like, picked me up and threw me back down in my seat. So, ground yourself this month. Like I said, be focused. You need clarity this month. You need to take some time, ground yourself, and keep that focus and that clarity straight. And don't let your ego drive you batshit crazy. Right off the bat is what I feel like. Your inner shaman will try to help you understand the way. Listen to your higher self. The higher self already knows when you're already doing these stupid things to yourself. And, I mean, come on, we all do it. We all have moments where we can't help it, but, like I said, you're double illumination. You're the double twins. You've got all kinds of sensitivity coming at you in so many different directions. Over communication coming at you. Talking about relationships, these things that you care about. I mean, it's understandable. So, alright, what does Gemini... Nope, that was an actual issue of me losing it. Take time for invocation. This is like a meditation. Take time. Make yourself a specific celebration. This is supposed to be where you're at this time, but this is what they're telling you to do. This is take time for like a moment of you. Because they're not listening to me. They know that you need to hear something other than that. I always say, Spirit's not going to give you what you want to hear. Spirit will give you what you need. I can ask questions all day, but at the end of the day, they're going to give you what you need. This is take time to create a ceremony. To create a ceremony of, what you care about. What is your truth? What is you? And what you're thankful for. And take that moment to really hear what your inner shaman is telling you. What your inner shaman, your higher self is telling you. It will help you sort some of this out. It'll help you find the passion that truly is there and what it's really about. And help you in that direction. And that's the second time, so I'm taking it this time. Because, well, that makes sense, actually. It says it's effortless, but this is a windfall. But I see this is more of a lake. I see this is more of, a waterfall. What did I just say? Oversensitivity. Over-emotional. Sensitivity. Water's running down on you. Water's kind of going everywhere. Your fires have been lit. You're all over, is what I feel like. They're telling you... Find out what you truly are, where you truly need to be. Listen to your inner shaman and do this little ceremony. Take some time, do a little meditation. Take some time to yourself. Because they're giving you the iceberg. This is where you're at. They're telling you you need to be at this iceberg. You need to slow down and... We'll get back in my box. Slow down and really take this time for yourself, and it will help you redirect everything else. But let's go to another deck. Alright, tell me more about their energy right now. What What's the energy here in July? What is this energy in July? What is this energy in July about for them? What is this energy in July about for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is this energy for July about? What is this energy for July about for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Geminis. What is this energy all about for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Gemini. Okay, tell me whatever it is that you want to tell me. Because apparently you don't want to hear my question. King of Wands. We're still in the fire energy. This is Leo. This is Leo. This is fire. This is passion. This is charging in. This is swift and sudden actions. This is morals, standing, standards, and goals. Listen to, not the King, the Knight of Wands. This is, what I'm hearing is if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So figure out who you are. Figure out what your soul wants. Figure out the direction that you need to be going through this illuminating time of these eclipses, what you need to stand for. Because you're overcoming sorrow. You're overcoming the Three of Swords. This is some kind of sorrow of the past. This is something that's made you not feel whole. This is Saturn and Libra dealing with fears. Like fears in the air coming back on you in a form. This is fields of persecution and realization. You are fighting yourself. You are fighting yourself, and because of it, you don't feel whole. You feel absent, missing a part of yourself. And they're saying, figure out what it is that get into that energy of you. Figure out what it is that you needed to do from that ceremony and get right with self, and then get back on the horse and stand for the morals, the standards, and the goals that are important to you. And it will start to swiftly change the energy. Is there anything else here? You're at a completion of a cycle. This is the Four of Wands. This is all fire energy again. This is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. This can be gratification. This can be satisfaction. But it is needing stability to find that wholeness. You need to find the stability within you. Like I said, right off the bat, the wolf was coming in, scratching at my back. The King of Wands is talking to you about morals, standards, goals, finding wholeness so the completion of the cycle can be done. This is letting go of your fear. This is letting go of your fear, letting go of what has kept you from feeling whole, coming to understand this, something from the past, getting past these perceptions and realizations that's caused the fear. This will help you move forward. Alright, this whole thing has felt more like a challenge for them. I mean, it's very positive, healing energy, but Tell them what they need, because you're not listening to my answers, my questions anyway today. Tell Gemini what they need to know to help them move forward in the most positive and healing way. Because I know you switched decks on me. So what does Gemini need to know? With being told your sensitivity, oversensitivity still, and because of that oversensitivity, it's creating from an oversensitive place, which will bring a manifestation that's most likely one you don't want. So this is why you need to get right with self. You need to take that time to get right with self and sift through the darkness of the chaos. They just changed the whole color of the star card on me into that mauve energy. So I'm going with it. It also could be an Aquarius in general. This is the keeper of the light as it's sifting through the darkness of the chaos. It is the shining truth. Find the shining truth within you and what it is you want. The blessings and the hook. When you are wanting something in life and you go fishing, what you want in life is the same thing as the star card. It's the hook in Hebrew. And what that means is if you were going fishing and you casted your line out there, I mean, you want the big fish. You want to have a good fish, right? I mean, of course you do. That's what you want to hook. That's what you want to reel and bring in. You want the big fish. You want the good fish. You don't want to waste your whole day fishing for something this small. Okay? I mean, you want to go after what you want. Your hopes, your desires. Well, they're telling you you're going to find it by sifting through the darkness of your chaos. And that's where you're going to find, in this case, the stars, you. Stop looking outwardly for the answers, because they're only going to be found inwardly at this time, through these eclipses right now. This is something that you're learning on a deep soul lesson, and healing of yourself is what I feel like this is about. And that's actually a beautiful thing, but anytime we're getting these beautiful energies, they don't feel very good. This is the Three of Cups, which is Mercury and Cancer, okay? But this looks like rings to me. And this one is highlighting to me in blue, which speaks to me of courage. And in my mind, this is your top 3 chakras. What I'm seeing is your top 3 chakras, the communication, and getting into a courageous, tranquil energy within that crown chakra and moving upwardly, which is not normally what the 3 of Cups is about. This is communication and celebration. But this may be simply telling you this has to do with the other people that are in your life. Because there's 3 people here. So it's like they say sometimes. There's you. If there's 3 people in the story, there's 3 different sides of the story. So, because what you need is the Ace of Clarity, basically. And then I'm seeing it all in blue and green, which is all blue growth, blue harmony, blue tranquility, green growth. So this is coming to a new place of clarity with your own self that will help you move forward in a new positive way. I feel like you're definitely going through a transformation at this time, but it's a soulful transformation that is actually going to help. But I feel like I'm not going to lie. Like at the time, it's not going to feel like it's the most comfortablest of all things. All right, Gemini. Leave them with something that's positive and uplifting for their hearts. For their hearts and their souls and their minds. Leave them with something that is uplifting, that will help them through the first half of July as they come into all of this energy and work through it in the most positive, healing way for Gemini's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Heart chakra. I love myself and others unconditionally and nurturing, loving relationships. Making sure you can see it. Is there anything else here that Gemini needs to hear that will help them? I combine body, mind, and soul to lift all of humanity into a new dimension. This is what I was saying with, I've put it away. Yeah, I've already shuffled it in. But when I was saying, I felt like I was seeing was the crown chakra. This is saying get into that higher dimension. Get yourself straight out of the third dimension where you can drive yourself batshit crazy. Get yourself up into those higher dimensions and allow yourself to move up. And if you can move yourself up into those higher dimensions, then you're not going to manifest from a negative. I feel like this is what this is all about. It's challenging you to be more than what you believe you can be. Gratitude. I am grateful for everyone and everything in my life and the lessons each brings. And then you are also being given, I am a protective spirit. What was I just saying? I could feel the wolf behind my back. I am a protective spirit and reach out to all life with love and compassion. The wolf will be with you the whole month. Call on it and it will help you. It's all about helping you find healing. The wolf I use for cord cutting in my shamanic work. I use the wolf to help me when I do my shamanic work with helping people or souls that have gotten stuck cross over. Nobody cries like a wolf does. Nobody cries like the wolf howls. The wolf can help you understand anything that you are trying to work through, and it will help you, but you must ask for its help. Archangel Michael also is lending his hand. I am grateful for the strength and the courage Archangel Michael brings within my life. Is there anything left that Gemini needs to hear to help them? Nope. Anything left? What was I just saying? You have to reach out. They're there to help you, but you have to ask. I reach out my hands and my heart to connect to the infinite and all of humanity. You have the ability to love you, to listen to you, to connect to your higher self, and to move on in a most positive way. You just have to jump out of that third dimension and shut the ego up some. It's about evolving, it's about loving, and it's about learning how to step past that ego side. We all have those moments. Trust me, honey. I walk around half the time telling myself to please shut the fuck right up because I get over emotional. They're ones that already came out. I love you, and I'll see you the second half. Remember, this is the solar eclipse from the 7th until the 16th. I feel like it's bringing the attention of what needs to be released so that you can make it through the lunar eclipse and really, truly start a brand new direction. You just got to give yourself some time. Bye, folks. Hugs and kisses in the wind.